Red Eye is a 2005 horror thriller directed by Wes Craven, and it stars Rachel McAdams, Cillian Murphy and Brian Cox. This is another Patreon request from Jeffrey Mussman. Jeffrey again is on the $10 tier on my Patreon page, so he gets to choose a horror movie for me to review every month if he wishes, and this month he's chosen Red Eye. A woman is kidnapped by a stranger on a routine flight. Threatened by the potential murder of her father, she is pulled into a plot to assist her captor in offing a politician. When I first saw the trailer for this film, I thought this looks completely different to what Wes Craven normally does, but I did see that Wes Craven vibe about the Red Eye trailer, so I thought this looks like a very interesting movie. Even though it's not 100% horror, I was still invested in watching it because Cillian Murphy looked great in it. Wes Craven likes us to get to know the characters that we'll be investing in throughout the movie, and he does that perfectly at the start of Red Eye. Not much happens before the flight. We get introduced to the main characters, but they just talk as if they're normal people. They don't have this massive script about who they are, where they came from. They're just natural. They talk to each other in a natural way, and it makes us get to know the characters more and like the characters more. We even like Jackson Rippner in this part of the movie because he's acting like a decent guy, he's doing the right thing, and he's getting to know people. He's just an all-round nice guy. Here's a good twist on a Wes Craven movie. Wes Craven makes us trying to guess who the killer is, but in this movie he turns it on his head. He lets us know straight away, from the trailer obviously, that Cillian Murphy is the bad guy. We know that he's the bad guy at the start of this film, so when we see him being a good guy to Rachel McAdams, it's got that build-up of tension because we know eventually she's going to find out, but how she's going to find out we don't know yet. That's the whole build-up and the mystery in this movie. We have that rush feeling in our bodies about when he's going to reveal himself to Rachel McAdams. At the point that Jackson Rippner was revealing himself and his plot to Rachel McAdams, I was sitting there thinking, this is so intense, not a lot is happening. He's still having a conversation with her. He's making her feel a little bit awkward, which is normal, but it's still, because we know that he's telling the truth and she doesn't really think that it's true to begin with, we're sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, this is awful for her, even though she doesn't know what's coming yet. We don't need to know a lot about the characters to like the characters in this film, but we did see at the start of the film that Rachel McAdams had a scar on her chest. We don't really know what happens. We just see the scar in the mirror. The scar gets brought up a couple of times before it gets revealed that what actually happened to her. Jackson Rippner sees the scar as well, and he implies that somebody's maybe attacked her, but nothing gets mentioned about it again until near the end of the movie. After the flight eventually landed, there was still so much intensity to the story. I knew that something interesting was going to happen when the flight landed because she stole a pencil or a pen from one of the passengers, and she revealed what happened to herself with the scar to Jackson Rippner. She said that somebody did attack her, and she just let it happen, whereas this time she wouldn't let it happen again, and then she just stabbed him right in the windpipe, I'm guessing it was, and that was just an intense moment for the movie. This also explains her dad's protective nature throughout this film, because anytime he talks to her on the phone, he's always asking her, are you okay? Do you want me to come and help you? Will I come and pick you up? He just looked like an overbearing father, but we can see throughout the movie that he has his reasons to do that. Jackson Rippner's got a hitman outside Rachel McAdams' father's house, and if all he needs to do is make a phone call and he'll kill him. But what she does is the smart thing is she takes his phone off him and runs away and gets off the plane, and that's where the chase scene starts to take place. You're probably thinking, well, he could call him from a different phone. He can't do that because he is a hitman himself, and he needs to call from a restricted line. So that's a really good move by her. You always get the silly, bubbly characters in a Wes Craven movie. For example, Randy in Scream. You always root for that character because he is sort of like us in a way. In this movie, it's Cynthia. She's one of the desk girls. She doesn't seem very confident. She doesn't have a lot of experience. So Rachel McAdams is trying to help her throughout the film. And we feel for her, especially when you've got idiot customers who are coming up and trying to moan at her and get things for free. And she really pulls through in this film. And I think that's what's good about this film as well, because the good guys get what they deserve in this film rather than the bad guys. Here's a fun fact. Our address is 9321 and the Elm Street address is 1428. All those numbers add up to 15 each. The finale was like Scream, only the difference is we know who the killer was throughout the film. He's in her house, he's got a knife and he's chasing around the house. So it was a good chase scene, and it reminded you of the previous Wes Craven movies like Scream. The unrealistic logic of a killer not killing somebody in this type of movie doesn't annoy me, because that's what I like about these kind of films. They're so silly, you don't have to take it seriously and you just enjoy it, as long as it takes you on the ride, which this movie certainly does. Although this wasn't a straight up horror movie, I think that Jackson Rippner was such a great bad guy. In the end, we had a feel-good finale where all the good people got what they deserved and all the bad people got what they deserved. Like I said, all the idiots got their comeuppance. It was just one of those movies you can just smile after it's finished. Without the end credit scenes, I've clocked this movie in at about an hour and 17 minutes. It was very short and sweet and it got straight to the point. This is the third time I've seen this film. I seen it in the cinema in 2005 and then I watched it straight away after it on DVD when it came out like 6-7 months later. And I remember loving this movie and I didn't watch it since, so it's been a good 12 years or so, 13 years since I've seen this movie. And then when Jeffrey recommended that I watch this for the choice of his movie review, I didn't tell him, but I thought this is going to be a great review to do because I really liked this movie, and watching it again for the first time in all those years, I didn't lose any of that respect for the film. It was still an amazing Wes Craven movie, one of Wes Craven's best movies. So thanks to Jeffrey for asking me to review this movie. I absolutely loved reviewing this movie. I loved watching this movie and I will watch it again in the future. It's such a great action horror thriller. Have you seen Red Eye, guys? If you have, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of it. Do you think it's one of Wes Craven's best movies? Oh my God. Anyway guys, thanks a lot for watching again. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.